You might have manager, director, or even CEO written on your business card. But have you ever noticed that the people you manage usually call you boss? That single word carries more weight than any formal title. It signals that you're the one responsible for leading, guiding, and making sure your team thrives. Yet many leaders shy away from it, preferring softer terms like coach or team leader. While those roles matter, the truth is that being the boss means fully owning the responsibility of both leadership and management. The best bosses don't throw their weight around or remind people of their authority. They have teams who turn up every day by choice, not obligation. Great bosses create workplaces where employees feel respected, challenged, and motivated. They know products, patents, and technology can be copied, but people remain the only truly competitive edge. Today, you'll discover tools that can help you become a boss your team actually wants to follow. You'll learn how to delegate effectively, build a team of great people, apply proven leadership and management practices, communicate with clarity, and address performance issues. By embracing your role with pride and purpose, you'll unlock the potential of both yourself and your people. Imagine looking at your workplace and realizing that only a third of your team is fully switched on. That's what Gallup surveys have shown year after year. Just 31.5% of employees are engaged. These individuals bring fresh ideas, energize those around them, and take initiative to keep customers happy. At the other end are the 17.5% who are actively disengaged, employees who dislike their jobs and pull others down with them. Their discontent spreads, and they're more likely to be absent, push customers away, or even work against the company's interests. Between these two extremes is the majority, 51%, who are not engaged. They do the basics, treat work as secondary, and see their role mainly as a paycheck. Collectively, this lack of commitment is estimated to cost businesses roughly $500 billion every year. So what causes this discrepancy? In most cases, it comes down to leadership. Gallup's CEO has argued that the most important decision an organization makes is who it puts in management. The right leaders move a company forward, the wrong ones hold it back. And weak leadership is reflected in widespread confusion. A Harris poll showed that 39% of employees don't know their company's goals, 47% don't know how it's performing, and 44% don't see how their work connects to the bigger picture. The message is clear. Engagement is the boss's responsibility. If people fall short and you haven't clearly explained what you expect, that shortfall is on you. Bad bosses complain about lazy employees or factors beyond their control. Great bosses step up, take ownership, and change what they can. But wanting better results isn't enough. To be effective, you have to get it, want it, and have the capacity to do it. Getting it means having a natural grasp of the role, the systems, the people, the pace, and how the work really fits together. Wanting it means having the fire in your belly to lead, not just saying the right words. And capacity covers 4 areas: emotional strength to connect and stay self-aware, intellectual ability to analyze and plan, physical energy to put in the effort, and disciplined use of time to focus on what matters. Miss any of these and your team will feel the impact. Possess them, and you'll be the kind of boss whose people are committed, motivated, and proud to follow. Ever feel like you don't have enough hours in the day? Do you find yourself spending time on tasks that keep the wheels turning, but leave little space for what really matters, leading and managing people? If so, the key is to sort through everything you do and decide what to keep and what to delegate. Start by writing down all your regular activities and sorting them into 4 groups. Things you're skilled at and energized by, things you enjoy and handle well, tasks you can do but dislike, and tasks you neither enjoy nor do well. Then compare that list with a typical set of boss duties and add any you missed. Pay special attention to people-related responsibilities, such as managing and developing your team. As a rule of thumb, aim for around 80% of these to fall in the first 2 groups if you want to lead effectively. Next, ask yourself, what is my realistic weekly capacity? It might be 40, 50, or even 60 hours. If 50 hours is your true limit, that's your 100%. Push beyond it and you drift into overload. Working 60 hours would mean you're at 120% capacity. To regain balance, you need to delegate about 10 hours worth of work, maybe a little more, to leave space for growth and emergencies. Many bosses resist with excuses like, "It's faster if I do it myself," or "No one can do it as well." But these are just mental roadblocks. But freeing up your time isn't enough. To be effective, you also need great people around you, or as authors Gino Wickman and René Boer say, the right people in the right seats. The right people live the organization's core values, those principles that shape its culture and decisions. And being in the right seats means someone clearly understands their role and truly gets it, wants it, and has the capacity to do it. The payoff can be enormous. Kip Tyndall of the Container Store once said that a single great person can be as productive as 3 good ones. His company pays well above industry average because the return on great people is worth it. Surround yourself with the right colleagues, and they'll deliver results far beyond what an average team can achieve. To make this practical, use a simple scorecard to rate each person against your core values and whether they get it, want it, and have the capacity. Setting a clear minimum bar makes the decision unambiguous. Keeping the wrong person in the wrong seat does the opposite. It frustrates the team and often drives away your best performers. Delegation and great people go hand in hand. When you shed tasks that don't belong on your plate and surround yourself with colleagues who share your values and strengths, you stop drowning in work and start leading with impact. That combination, time spent on the right things with the right people, is what separates an average boss from a great one. Think about your team for a moment. When you assign a task, does it reliably get done, or do you often find yourself chasing people for follow-through? Research shows most bosses rate accountability in their organizations around 4 out of 10. The truth is, accountability can't be demanded. It has to be created, and the way to do that is by combining strong leadership with solid management. Before that, though, there are 4 truths you need to accept. First, being a great boss doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to master a list of 30 traits. Consistently applying just 5 leadership practices and 5 management practices is enough. Second, your personal style doesn't have to change. Whether you're outgoing or reserved, tough or kind, authenticity builds trust. Third, you have to genuinely care about your people. They'll sense it immediately if you don't, and without real concern for them, you'll never move from good to great. And finally, you must want to be great. Growth in your business will always depend on growth in yourself. Wickman and Boer offer this simple equation. Leadership plus management equals accountability. Leadership means working on the business, setting direction, giving people space, and thinking about the bigger picture. Management means working in the business, setting clear expectations, communicating well, and making sure things actually get done. Do one without the other and you'll frustrate your team. Provide both and accountability will rise naturally. If you feel too overwhelmed to provide both, think back to the previous section. It's a sign you need to delegate more and create space for your people. You can also think of it this way. Leadership creates vision while management delivers traction. The discipline and follow-through that turn plans into results. As Thomas Edison put it, vision without execution is hallucination. So a team without vision lacks purpose, and a team without traction never moves forward. Only when both are present do people stay engaged and businesses grow. In the next section, we'll explore what it takes to excel at both parts of the equation. Great bosses aren't born overnight. They're shaped by the habits they practice every day. To start, let's dive into 5 practices that result in great leadership when they're applied consistently. First, give clear direction. Share a compelling vision that explains where the team is headed and why it matters. Revisit it every 90 days so that people don't just hear the vision but embrace it. Hearing it once isn't enough. People need to understand it and own it. Second, provide the necessary tools. Resources like training, technology, and extra help matter, but your time and attention are often the most important tools. The simplest way to confirm that your team has what they need to do great work? Ask. Third, let go. Once expectations are clear and people have what they need, resist the urge to micromanage. Focus your energy on people who understand their roles, genuinely want the responsibility, and have the ability to deliver. Give them space to succeed, and make sure problems stay with the person responsible rather than landing back on your desk. Fourth, act with the greater good in mind. Your actions need to align with the vision you've shared. Short-term gains aren't worth it if they damage your trust or reputation. When you consistently choose what's best for the team or organization over what's easiest for yourself, you build credibility and create lasting results. Finally, set aside time to reflect. This means regularly stepping back to consider the bigger picture. Whether it's a quiet hour each week or a day away from the office, these breaks can restore focus and help you make better decisions. Now, let's turn to the 5 management practices that go hand in hand with the leadership practices. First, set clear expectations. People need to know their roles, the values that guide decisions, the priorities that matter most, and the results they're accountable for. Without clarity in these areas, accountability is impossible. Second, communicate well. Don't rely on assumptions. Ask questions, listen carefully, and check for understanding on both sides. Open dialogue builds trust and ensures that nothing important is left unsaid. Third, establish a steady meeting rhythm. Hold a weekly team meeting with a consistent agenda to review results and solve issues. Add one-on-ones during the first 90 days for new hires or people new to a role. Investing your attention early on speeds up alignment. Fourth, hold quarterly conversations. Meet off-site, away from distractions, to discuss what's working, what isn't, and how each person is living up to their role, values, and priorities. This cadence keeps relationships and goals from fraying. Finally, reward and recognize. Give feedback, whether it's positive or negative, within 24 hours. Any praise should be quick and public, while constructive criticism is best delivered privately. Together, these 10 practices don't just create accountability, they shape a culture where trust is reinforced at every level. With that foundation in place, let's turn to quarterly conversations and how to navigate people challenges when they arise. Have you ever put off a tough talk with a team member because you worried it might go badly? If so, you're not alone. Many bosses convince themselves it's safer to stay silent than risk discomfort, but avoiding these conversations erodes trust and leaves problems unresolved. That's why great bosses commit to regular quarterly conversations with each direct report. A quarterly conversation is an informal, face-to-face check-in every 90 days, free from forms and bureaucracy. Held in a neutral setting or online, away from interruptions, it gives both you and your employee the chance to talk openly about 2 simple questions. What's going well, and what needs to change? These discussions are an opportunity to keep expectations clear, strengthen relationships, recognize achievements, and uncover issues before they grow. People challenges are inevitable, but it helps to recognize that most of them fall into just 4 categories. The right person in the right seat, the right person in the wrong seat, the wrong person in the right seat, and the wrong person in the wrong seat. You might be wondering what's wrong with the right person in the right seat. Well, if you're neglecting that person, it can become a problem. Your strongest performers need recognition, feedback, and challenge to stay engaged. A right person in the wrong seat may need a role shift to succeed, or a respectful exit if there isn't a role that fits. A wrong person in the right seat may hit targets while damaging culture and trust. This behavior should be addressed quickly, and a wrong person in the wrong seat is a fundamental mismatch, another scenario that's best dealt with sooner rather than later. Handling these issues takes courage, but not handling them will drag down the whole team. Leaders who raise their expectations and hold people accountable may experience some turnover, yet this often strengthens the organization. The wrong people leave, making space for the right ones to thrive. Ultimately, your greatest competitive edge is your people. When everyone embraces the same values, understands their role, and directs their energy in the same direction, the whole organization moves faster.